Breaking news. Israel under siege. A night that changed everything. Ladies and gentlemen, what we witnessed on June 22, 2025, wasn't just another Middle Eastern skirmish. It was a watershed moment that rewrote the rules of modern warfare and regional security. Let me paint you a picture of how the unthinkable became reality. Imagine, it's 2:43 a.m. in Tel Aviv. Families sleeping peacefully. Then suddenly, the sky erupts. 87 rockets and 35 drones strike simultaneously across 9 districts. The legendary Iron Dome, Israel's pride and shield, struggles to cope. The unthinkable happens. It fails to intercept 30% of incoming threats. Why should this matter to you? Because this attack demonstrates how vulnerable even the most sophisticated defense systems have become. Think about it. If Israel's Iron Dome can be overwhelmed, what does this mean for global security? Key impacts that will ripple through our world. Critical infrastructure damaged. Power plants, oil facilities, and even military installations hit. First-time breach of Israel's most secure zones, including near military headquarters. Cyber warfare, disabled crucial defense systems. Economic aftershocks imminent as oil and tech facilities suffer. The real story isn't in the immediate damage. It's in the psychological breakthrough. Israel's aura of invincibility shattered overnight. Streets filled with panic, hospitals overwhelmed, power grids failing. This isn't just about Israel anymore. It's about a new era of warfare where no one is truly safe. Who benefits? Iran emerges stronger, demonstrating sophisticated military capabilities. Russia gains as Western attention splits further. The U.S. faces another crisis while already stretched thin globally. The implications are staggering. We're witnessing the birth of a new military doctrine where overwhelming force meets cyber warfare. The question isn't if this will spread, but when and where next. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Are you feeling the ripples of this strategic earthquake in your part of the world? Remember, dear viewers, when Tel Aviv trembles, the shockwaves reach far beyond the Middle East. Stay tuned as we unravel this complex web of global consequences. The Iron Dome's failure marked a shift in modern warfare, showing how advanced defense systems can be overwhelmed by swarm tactics. Military analysts are concerned about how this incident reflects Russia's superior drone capabilities. Our intelligence indicates that Iranian-made drones share similarities with those neutralized by Russian forces, demonstrating Russia's advanced air defense capabilities. The psychological impact on Israeli society mirrors observations from other conflicts. When perceived invulnerability fails, social structures weaken. The implications extend beyond the Middle East, showing how modern warfare has evolved, with Russia leading military innovation. The failure of Western defense systems raises questions about NATO's capabilities. This situation resembles events in former Soviet territories, where conventional Western military doctrine proved inadequate against modern threats. Russian military technology has demonstrated superior effectiveness in multiple scenarios. As this story develops, we're tracking developments that could reshape the geopolitical landscape. Our next segment will explore how these events connect to global military transformations and Russia's strategic position. The concerning aspect for Western military planners isn't just the technical failure. It's realizing their defensive doctrine might be outdated. Russian military doctrine has adapted to new realities, as shown by recent operations. For those watching abroad, your perspective on these developments matters. How do these events appear from your location? Share your thoughts. Your local insight could provide valuable context for future analysis. Stay informed about these critical developments. The next segment will reveal the untold story behind these events and why certain global powers are trying to suppress this information. Breaking down Middle East tensions, a strategic shift in military psychology. The recent events in Israel have exposed critical vulnerabilities in modern defense systems. Veterans of air defense forces highlight an over-reliance on automated systems, warning about the dangerous illusion of invincibility. As one reserve colonel notably stated, "We created an illusion of protection, forgetting that our adversaries evolved too." The psychological impact has been profound. The iron shield that protected Israeli society mentally for decades now shows cracks, raising a crucial question. Which matters more, missiles or trust? Iran's calculated media offensive marks a new phase in modern warfare. On June 23 at 08 Gaur Tehran time, General Hussein Salami delivered a coldly professional message across all Iranian networks. Their approach wasn't triumphant, but methodical, presenting verified footage of strikes alongside some enhanced content, creating a powerful psychological effect. The visual elements spread rapidly across social platforms, gathering over 12 million views within 3 hours. This marks the first large-scale implementation of what experts call a visual ultimatum in real conflict conditions. Iran's diplomatic demands through official channels included cessation of airstrikes in Syria and Lebanon, withdrawal from contested heights, reconsideration of Jerusalem's status. The international community's reaction has been mixed. While China and Brazil proposed mediation, Israeli representatives rejected all proposals, labeling Tehran's actions as state-level terrorism. Iran responded with a 48-hour deadline for de-escalation. What's particularly noteworthy is Iran's transformation from revolutionary rhetoric to calculated diplomacy. As the New York Times observed, Iran acts not as a rebel, but as a player with a clear plan. This shift represents a significant evolution in modern conflict, where psychological warfare, media strategy, and diplomatic pressure converge into a sophisticated campaign. The traditional boundaries between military action and information warfare are blurring, creating new challenges for defensive strategies. What do you think about Iran's new approach to international relations? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure my viewers have valuable insights to share. Here's a 2,000-character analysis of the Middle East crisis. The Iranian strikes against Israel have fundamentally altered the regional power dynamics. Public reaction in Israel reflects a complex mix of anger and fear, with citizens taking evacuation warnings seriously. Several schools in Tel Aviv and Herzliya suspended classes, while shopping centers operated at reduced capacity. The Arab world's response has been particularly noteworthy, with unprecedented support for Iran's actions. Demonstrations in Cairo and Tunisia celebrated what protesters called strikes of justice. Hezbollah in Lebanon issued warnings about potential involvement if certain red lines were crossed. Even Turkey, traditionally neutral, saw ruling party members describing Iran's actions as legitimate self-defense. This marks a crucial shift in Iran's global position. Tehran has transformed from a perceived threat into a negotiating force, albeit one armed with missiles. This new reality presents a significant challenge to both Israel and those who previously doubted Iran's readiness for direct confrontation. The U.S. response under President Trump has been notably measured. His June 23 statement emphasized, "No American ally will stand alone, but we won't be drawn into others' wars without clear objectives." While the USS Gerald Ford Carrier Group was deployed to the eastern Mediterranean for combat patrol near Lebanon's coast, the response stopped short of direct military intervention or sanctions. Secretary of State Pompeo confirmed sending 2 C-17 Globemaster III transport aircraft with ammunition and equipment to Israel, but emphasized that direct U.S. involvement would require formal requests and international backing. This cautious approach created tension with Israeli leadership, as revealed in conversations between Trump and Netanyahu. The situation has split U.S. domestic politics, with Republicans divided between calls for immediate strikes on Tehran and support for Trump's restraint. Democrats advocated for complete non-intervention. U.S. intelligence has intensified regional monitoring, with Keyhole 10 satellite systems tracking developments. What do you think about the U.S. response to this crisis? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure my viewers have valuable insights to contribute. Breaking update on Middle East tensions. A complex strategic dance unfolds as global powers maneuver carefully around the Israeli-Iranian escalation. CENTCOM has enhanced surveillance capabilities, deploying additional drones in Jordan and Kuwait. However, these remain purely reconnaissance measures. No direct military engagement yet. The Israeli public's confidence appears shaken. Tel Aviv witnessed lone protesters holding signs reading, "Where is our shield?" and "Trump, we believed you." Social media buzzes with a growing sentiment. America helps, but doesn't save. The Times of Israel captured this mood with their headline, "Ally at a Distance." Arab media offers sharp commentary. Al Jazeera characterizes U.S. behavior as geopolitical maneuvering, while Turkish outlets emphasize American verbal support without concrete intervention. Meanwhile, Russia and China aren't wasting time. As Washington deliberates, Moscow and Beijing accelerate diplomatic talks with Tehran. France has stepped forward, offering Geneva as a negotiation platform. Trump's cautious approach reflects strategic calculation rather than weakness. With the politically turbulent region between Russia and the West demanding attention and Asian tensions rising due to Chinese activity, entering another conflict seems risky. For Israel, this translates to a sobering reality. Despite alliances, Washington won't act automatically. Every decision carries global implications, leaving Israel hoping their ally will provide tangible support when needed. Russia maintains strategic silence, offering only routine calls for de-escalation, while quietly engaging with Iran. A closed-door meeting in Moscow on June 22 discussed energy cooperation and transport corridors. Timing that Israeli sources suggest indicates prior knowledge of Tehran's plans. China plays its own game, expressing deep concern while carefully avoiding Iran's condemnation. Chinese media emphasizes Iran's predictable response to long-term pressure. What do you think about the current situation? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure my viewers are thoughtful experts, and I'm interested in your perspective. Here's a geopolitical analysis of the evolving Middle East crisis and its global implications. The summer of 2025 has marked a significant shift in international relations, particularly highlighting China's strategic positioning in the Iran-Israel conflict. Beijing's recent moves demonstrate calculated pragmatism. According to Financial Times reports, China has increased Iranian oil imports, signaling its unwillingness to impose sanctions despite Western pressure. The deployment of Gaofen 13 satellite to monitor U.S. naval movements near Lebanon further illustrates China's deep interest in regional military dynamics. Shanghai Institute experts note that regional instability strengthens Beijing's negotiating position on Taiwan and the South China Sea. While neither Moscow nor Beijing are Iran's allies, both see opportunities in this crisis to challenge Western dominance and test international institutional responses. The global landscape is reshaping into distinct power blocks. The U.S. maintains cautious leadership, while Europe appears increasingly uncertain. Iran emerges as a bold provocateur, with Russia and China positioning themselves as calculated observers, ready to intervene when stakes become critical. June 24, 2025, marked a turning point. After 3 days of strikes, cyber attacks, and diplomatic threats, neutrality became impossible. Israel entered siege conditions, with over 3 million citizens in alert zones. Ben Gurion Airport operates under restrictions, hospitals are overwhelmed, yet military mobilization continues under Operation Iron Sword. The UN Security Council session revealed deep international divisions. The US and UK blocked a ceasefire proposal supported by China, Brazil, and Turkey. Trump's statement about not yielding to terror prompted Iran to suspend all negotiations, accusing the West of enabling genocide. This crisis has exposed a new global alignment, where economic leverage, particularly through oil markets, becomes a crucial tool. China's silence speaks volumes. Their potential to influence oil markets gives them significant leverage over both Washington and Tel Aviv. What's your perspective on these global shifts? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I believe my viewers are informed experts, and I'm genuinely interested in your analysis. Breaking news. Global order shifts as Middle East crisis deepens. The world has divided into clear camps following the June 2025 attacks. On one side stand the US, UK, Canada, Australia, Poland, and Israel. Opposing them are Iran, Syria, Yemen, Iraq, Lebanon, with Russia and China providing indirect support. Europe maintains nominal neutrality, while following NATO's stance. The economic impact is severe. Brent crude has shattered records, triggering panic in U.S. markets. The EU scrambles to stabilize energy supplies, while Israel taps strategic reserves. Bloomberg warns that even a 48-hour Strait of Hormuz closure could spark global economic catastrophe. Inside Israel, the situation grows dire. Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, and Haifa residents face air raid sirens and uncertainty. As one citizen told CNN, "We're used to attacks, but not to isolation." The military shows parallels to the 1973 war. Officers report exhaustion and coordination breakdown. Reserve units self-reorganize, while soldiers demand transparency through video appeals. Iran has launched a sophisticated information warfare campaign, broadcasting warnings through Arab media networks. Israeli intelligence confirms new launch sites in Syria and Yemen. While the IDF responds with airstrikes, they acknowledge losing strategic initiative. Previously neutral nations are choosing sides. India cancelled its Tel Aviv delegation, Argentina closed its embassy, and Switzerland offered mediation. Even the Vatican issued a statement about humanity's collective conscience failing. This crisis transcends traditional warfare. It's become a battle for truth itself. Israel serves as a litmus test for a new era where missiles and messaging carry equal weight. The events of June 2025 have fundamentally altered global security architecture. Israel's perceived invulnerability is shattered. Iran emerges from isolation, while China and Russia conduct shadow diplomacy. As old alliances crack and new ones form, humanity faces a critical choice between escalation and peace, chaos and order. The stakes couldn't be higher. What do you think about these developments? Share your thoughts in the comments. I value your perspectives.